Thank you for joining us. I'm Brad Clonch.
And I'm Quinn Tran.
Young Chickasaws are making some huge accomplishments.
Their talents shine here at home and beyond the borders of the Chickasaw Nation. 4
Chickasaw teenagers had their work on display in New York recently. These pieces of art and photography were selected to be on display during the National Art Education Association annual conference held in New York. The exhibits were featured on New York City's Big Screen Plaza. They were chosen out of thousands of submissions, and 500 were selected to be on display. Ryan Rico, Mashili Billy, and Samantha Reynolds were chosen in the category of photography. Samantha's twin sister, Sarah Reynolds, was selected for her 2D artwork. In the coming weeks on CNTV, we'll be featuring each of these young artists, showcasing their talents and their work.
Chickasaw youth are inspired by the arts at a very young age. On March 25th, the Chickasaw Nation celebrated Youth Arts Month by hosting this event at the Community Center in Ada. Children from surrounding communities participated. They got involved in all kinds of hands-on activities, fun arts and crafts. Organizers say this annual event lets children and their families spend time together and be creative. The art activities allowed kids to create and take ownership of their projects.
These Chickasaw youth learned how quickly a house can be built. They took time out of their spring break to volunteer with Habitat for Humanity and traveled to the Oklahoma City area to help build a home. About 24 Chickasaws who are part of the Chickasaw Nation's Youth Leadership Program helped with this project. The kids are ages 16 and up. This service learning project taught them how to work together. More importantly, these youth learned how they can make a difference in the lives of others. In this case, help a family in need of a home build one.
We go and do things to help us learn leadership and to be leaders in our school. And doing these things is part of building our character and who we are and stuff. It's just really cool getting to build houses for people when they need it, and knowing that you're helping someone is just a really good experience.
Teamwork. Heads up.
This is the second year for the Chickasaw Youth Leadership Program to volunteer with Central Oklahoma Habitat for Humanity.
We know that young Chickasaws can do amazing things.
They're wonderful artists, musicians, and community volunteers.
And add to that list of talent a young writer who at 15 has published her first book.
When I write, it's kind of an escape.
Since she was 9 years old, Kortney Greenwood has found time to write every day. Her passion of writing grew from a class assignment.
Well, I'll start with the fact that I hated English. I did not want to do it. I refused. I was horrible in it. I think it was just because, you had so many grammar rules, so many rules you had to remember. I'm not a rules person. One day she had us write this creative writing paper or whatever, and I wrote it, and it was like a comedy kind of humorous paper, and I was like, oh, and everybody loved it, and they're like, oh, that was so good, and I was just like, oh, okay. I think with writing fictional book, writing a book, you don't have rules to go by. I mean, of course, you still have the grammar and you still have all these things to do, but really it's your own thing. You don't have to stay by these standards, and that's what I really like about it.
Writing has become a journey for the Chickasaw teenager. Her daily writing developed into a novel and now a self-published book.
I first started it when I was about 9. From that, I'm 15 now, so it's over a long period of time. I never thought about publishing when I first started it. I was just like, this is just gonna be something fun for my mom and my sister to read. And then I thought, well, it could become something big. The book Change is a story about a teenage girl named Samantha Sutherland. She has lived in Tybee, Georgia for her whole life, or at least that's what she knows. So she's lived in Tybee, and something happens, and that's part of a surprise in the book. Something happens and she has to move to Oklahoma so she can get a new start, so she can start fresh, not have clean slate, everything. She gets to the beach, her last day in Tybee. She sees this boy and she's just drawn to this kid, and she doesn't know what it is. Well, she gets to Oklahoma and the kid's there, and she's kind of suspicious. You meet someone and then you find them in the state that you're at, the same exact town, which the town that she went to in Oklahoma was Stratford, Oklahoma, which is my hometown. My hometown is small. you know everybody and you want to help them if you can. It's very giving.
Kortney describes her book as a mythological romance and an action thriller. She says there's a definite message in her book.
I think my message is, if something's going to change, don't fight it, because if you fight it and you resist it, you might miss something important, something that God's trying to show you in that change. You might miss, being in love with someone. You might miss this experience that you won't ever get back because you resisted that change. Just go with the change. It's okay. I draw inspiration from everything, from a penny on the ground to, I don't know, like some symbolic thing happening in the sky. I mean, I draw it from people. I draw it from situations. I mean, I'm inspired by my granny because she's so strong-willed, and she survived cancer once, and I'm so proud of her, and I draw inspiration from that. I draw inspiration from her courage and her strength. It takes initiative and it takes drive to do stuff like this. I mean, whether it's running a marathon or publishing a book, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort. There is a sequel to Change, and I'm working on it right now and having to rewrite it and get through the whole publishing process. But yeah, it ends happy, but it's not over.
If you meet Kortney, she has a big smile, a great personality. She wants to grow up and go to college, keep writing, of course, and become a best-selling author.
She's well on her way to reaching that goal, and Kortney has won some creative writing contests. She's also active in other things, school plays, 4-H, and participates in livestock shows with her older sister.
She's just a well-rounded, positive kid, a really delight to be around.
Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of CNTV.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.